Welcome to Fockbuster, everybody.
Welcome to Fockbuster.
I'm your host, Alex Parkerson.
And I'm your co-host today, Gary McCheese.
Welcome y'all to the new episode 6, Jurassic Fock. Let's dive right in. Jurassic World Dominion. McCheese, let's start off with you, sir.
So I'm going to go ahead and say I was not a fan of this movie. Well, am I going to see it again? No. Honestly, not. I probably won't even tune in if it's one of those on TNT when it comes out. I'm not a fan of the whole cloning storyline, and in my opinion, there were just not enough dinosaurs.
Totally 100% agree. I probably won't even watch it on TNT either. Will I buy it? Only for collector's purposes, but will I unwrap it? Probably not. I absolutely agree. Not enough dinosaurs. Not enough dinosaurs. Don't care about the cloning. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but I just don't care. It's Jurassic Park. It's dinosaurs.
It's not cloning park.
Not cloning park. 4 out of 10. Okay, so, hear me out. We give it a 4, but I'm still a fan of Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, and Laura Dern. But there wasn't enough of them.
I give it a 5 because they did bring back all the classic characters from the original movies, and they did tie in the new characters with the new stories with Chris Pratt and that story. Is it enough? In my opinion, no. It's still a letdown.
It's still a big letdown. Go see Top Gun 2 instead. This month I saw Elvis starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. Baz Luhrmann's new film. And what do I have to say about it? It was alright. I think ultimately I'm going to give it a 7. But go see Top Gun Maverick. In it, I think what I couldn't get past was Tom Hanks. I think Tom Hanks for me was the issue the entire time of the movie. Be it his accent or the obvious fat suit that they poorly did. Those two things I just couldn't get past. He was also the villain, which is fine, but if your villain isn't believable, chances are you're not going to believe the movie. Austin Butler, though, phenomenal job. He did a phenomenal job as Elvis. I'm not trying to take anything away from his performance or even Baz Luhrmann's direction. It was Tom Hanks that did it for me. So will I see it again? Maybe if there's an inevitable 4-hour director's cut that I've heard of, but I'm not rushing to see it. I'm rushing to see Top Gun 2 Maverick. Enjoy.
We are going to bring you Lightyear. Krista, I'm going to ask you, what was your opinion on this movie?
Go see Top Gun.
Go see Top Gun 2. I think that's
Is that all I need to say?
I think that's going to be the theme of this this episode. Is even though it's called Jurassic Fock and we're going over these movies, you should just go see Top Gun. It's still the best thing released at this point. Lightyear, once again, another letdown. I think this is the end of the month where it's letdowns for movies.
Tim Allen isn't even Buzz Lightyear, and he said this character just was not the toy Buzz Lightyear, and he didn't want to be a part of that. I think that also is all I need to say.
Yeah. One thing I wish they would have done in the advertising is the whole premise of this movie is this Lightyear is the movie that Andy went to go see that made him buy the toy that Buzz Lightyear was. So essentially you are watching the movie that Andy watched. Still didn't like it.
Seems like they crashed from space.
Will I watch this again? No. Will I watch it on Disney Plus? No.
Don't even take your kids to watch it. It's not a great kid movie.
Take your kids to see Top Gun Maverick.
For this month, I chose Beavis and Butthead Due to Universe. I waited 26 years for this, as discussed a couple of months ago. A couple of episodes, episode 3, I believe. But the boys have finally come back. In it, you have Beavis and Butthead shortly in 1998 get sent to the Johnson Space Program, giggity, and they eventually find a wormhole that sends both the boys back into a now modern 2022, where they discover such things as white privilege. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. It's a great movie, very fun, only 80 minutes long. I just hope not to wait 26 more years. A solid 9 out of 10 from this guy.
This is my animation station of the month, and maybe my biggest surprise of the month. This is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. It has an all-star cast: Andy Samberg, Seth Rogen. There's a ton of people in this movie. It's directed by one of the guys in The Lonely Island, so you can take a guess. The humor in this, it's just ridiculous. I love the blend of animation and real life. That's really my vibe these days. But just overall, really great movie. Good for the kids and adults. I think you'll get some good laughs from it. Check it out. And my own little chip here gives it a 10 out of 10. Chipper.
Demolition Man. Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock, Wesley Snipes, Rob Schneider. God, who else is in here? A lot of people. But it's an overall classic film. Set in the future, you remember the story. John Spartan gets thrown into a cryogenic pool, gets unleashed. Wesley Snipes is like a super killer who gets out, and they play with new toys in the future in a society with no guns, and Taco Bell rules all the dining world. One of my favorite movies growing up, definitely needs to be seen over and over every year. Highly recommend Demolition Man. For my next choice, I chose High School High, John Lovett's classic comedy spoof movie in the terms of like Naked Gun, Airplane, and all those classic movies. This one spoofs Stand By Me, Dangerous Minds, True Lies, go figure that one, as well as a couple of other movies. Hilarious movie. Probably wouldn't get made today, of course, but it's also got an early Mekhi Phifer in it, as well as Tia Carrera. Highly recommend if you need something stupid to watch. Just a 90-minute film, an overall classic comedy. And who doesn't like John Lovett's? The Critic? Anybody? It's a great movie. Finally, Blank Check. One of my favorite Disney movies of all time, for a movie that would be just wildly impossible to make nowadays for $1 million. In it, you got a kid who gets a blank check from a crooked guy who's got his money hidden away because he just got out of jail. Preston cashes $1 million check in the name of a guy named Macintosh, gets a big old lavish home, spends it on all this ice cream, cab drivers, go-kart chases, gets himself in trouble with these guys. Some good funny moments in it. Highly recommend if you need something fun on Disney Channel, but it is a little weird. You know what I'm talking about, Karen Duffy. You know.
I just went and saw The Black Phone. The Black Phone is a short story written by Joe Hill, who happens to be Stephen King's son. The Black Phone, finally, something we've watched in the past 2 weeks that is worth going to see in the theaters. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I was not expecting much from this film, to be honest. There's not many short story adaptations to film that I've been very impressed by over the couple years. And there's a lot of films that have been adapted by Stephen King writings that I was just let down by. So definitely this is one to go check out in the theaters. After you've seen Top Gun Maverick, go see The Black Phone. You're not going to be depressed about it.
Alright, y'all. My horror for this month is The Toll, streaming on Amazon, I believe. I have no idea who the director is. Don't even think he's done much that I've seen. Actors in this, no clue. I highly recommend this. It has me on pins and needles from the start to the finish, with only really 3 characters, which is pretty impressive. The box says it all, an unforgettable ride. This is like your horror nightmare, Uber driver, fill in the blanks. Go see this after you see Top Gun.
For my horror selection this month, I chose the Final Destination series. Personally, I'm a fan of the first 2, same basic premise though in all of them, and who can even drive behind a log truck even 20 years later? I know I can't, and I'm sure you can't either. First one's my favorite though. It's got a great cast. Devon Sawa, Ali Larder, Sean William Scott's in it, Kerr Smith is in it, and Tony Todd, Candyman himself, makes an appearance as the morgue doctor. Just basic premise, like I said, teenagers, cheat death, great kills, weird kills, but it's fun and a good stupid horror film for the summer season. Enjoy. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Let's find out.
What's in the box?
First up, new Hocus Pocus 2 trailer dropped this week. It will be premiering on Disney Plus at the end of September. Are we excited?
Yeah!
It's gonna be great seeing the Sanderson sisters at, what, almost 40 years old, 30s, in our 30s and 40s? Goodness gracious, it's gonna be great. Godzilla vs. Kong 2 is coming early 2024. I know somebody excited. He's excited. I'm a little excited too, can't lie. Who doesn't like destruction, especially King Kong vs. Godzilla? Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel was announced for Christmas, December 20th, 2023, along with Dune Part 2, November of 2023. Is it the next holidays? I'm already ready for next holidays. This is like going to be amazing. This is going to be some great cinema experience. I am super duper hyped about this.
Just gonna watch Top Gun until then.
Perfect. Hugh Jackman teases Deadpool 3 on social media. Are we excited? I mean, I'm not surprised.
As long as I get Wolverine, that's all I care about.
I'm excited. Kenobi dominated. Will there be a season 2? They didn't watch it. I did. It's a great show. 9 out of 10 for me. Only 6 episodes long. Highly recommend it. It's way better than Boba Fett. Way better than Mandalorian. Yeah, I said it. And the best thing since oh goodness, it'd be the prequels. Then. Best thing since Revenge of the Sith. So go figure. Lady Gaga has been announced to play who, Krista?
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
And the Joker 2 musical. Joaquin Phoenix is coming back.
Right on. What do you think, Andy?
What can she not do? That's exactly what Herschel just said too.
I absolutely agree. And you know,
And finally, Top Gun Maverick has grossed over $1 billion now, putting it number 49 at the all-time box office hits. We've got 3 to 4 weeks left. Do we think it's gonna hit top 10?
I do. I think it will. I think it's got the staying power to stay in theaters and keep me mad it's not on a streaming service until past August.
And who sang the Top Gun theme?
Lady Gaga.
Go see Top Gun Maverick!